Hey there YouTubes, this is Weird coming back at you with more Enigmatica 2 Expert Mod Pack playthrough action for Minecraft 1.12.2, and this is E2E version 1.75. So I did get around to making a quantum compressor. If we take a look at that recipe, it's like 16 pistons, 4 compressors, a couple auto compressors, a couple blocks of iron, an elite compressing factory. Not that big of a deal. And then we went ahead and made the matter condenser, which is a bit more involved. So the AE2 matter condenser, you use a second elite compressing factory as a catalyst, if you will. This is not consumed. So this one has an elite compressing factory that does get consumed. But then when you move on to this guy, the matter condenser, you need a second one to use as sort of to set the recipe. And then you need 10,000 pistons. We printed those out using UU matter a couple weeks ago, so no big deal there. So we made the matter condenser. And then I have a singularity. Yay. So then we set up the matter condenser. It needs a bunch of items, so that would be, in my case, cobblestone is what we're going to feed it. So I put it over here next to my cobblestone generation. And you go ahead and put a 64 kMe storage component in there, which I do not believe is ever consumed, at least not making singularities. This button allows you to change it what you're doing. So we've got it set on condense into singularities, 256,000 items per singularity, and you can see now we're counting up towards another singularity. I've made one and I want to make at least a couple more. I can't remember how many I need, but anyway, we're ticking up, and it's going up at a reasonable pace. So that's a no big deal. Got that going. Now the other thing is that we're gearing up for the Chaos Dragon fight. Chaos Guardian fight. So we need to start with Wyvern Armor and then upgrade that to Draconic Armor. If we look at those pieces, they require roughly, 12 sets of armor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 12 sets of armor. And so I had or could easily get most of these. If we take a look in the box, I had Nightly and Fiery and Steel Leaf and Ironwood and Quantum and Terra Steel from my mob farm. Manulan is basically just taking Diamond Armor and upgrading it to Manulan Armor. So that was easy peasy. The boron nitride, we did have to make a few boron nitrides for something a little bit back, and we had some extra crystals. So this is basically just taking, I believe it's the tough carbon that we got from the mob farm, and upgrading it to boron nitride. Chain leggings in some mod packs can be a bit of a bitch, but because you can't craft them, so you have to get them from the mob farm. But in this case, you can craft them through a couple of different means. So we had plenty of chains from Ice and Fire, and so we just crafted those out real quick from that. And then we had the blue Superium boots and our Superium armor from our mob farm, so we just had to upgrade that to Supremium. So all of this was fairly simple and straightforward, but when we take a look at the rest of it, it's these two, the Arctic jacket and Yeti jacket. These are the ones that we have to go through the Twilight to get, and as near as I can tell, we actually need to go through the Twilight progression to open up the snow areas to let us do these. So I went over to, I'm not really familiar with Twilight Forest and don't have a lot of experience there. I fiddled around in it a bit in my last attempted E2E playthrough before my world got all messed up. But I went over there real quick, and there was a lich tower very close to my spawn-in point. and not really knowing what I was doing. I tried it and it had a force field, and then I spotted a Naga maze, so I ran over and was able to kill it. Pretty easy. We are invincible. We've got a great weapon that shoots through walls. We have, um, 160 health, 80 hearts. It's just not even a challenge at all over there, so I'm not going to film a lot of playthrough. But I did want to mention that. So the Naga was a first, and that was just a little maze that was open to us, and we just shot it and it died, and it was no big deal. The Twilight Lich was a big tower. I used the Ring of the Flying Squid. Creative Flight doesn't work over there, so the Angel Ring doesn't work over there. However, Ring of the Flying Squid and a glider get you around very fast. It's almost as good as Creative Flight anyway. So I just flew up near the top of the tower, bashed through a wall, and we were invincible, so it just took me a minute to kill the Twilight Lich. I'm not really showing most of these fights very much because I'm brute forcing them, so they're not that interesting, and I'm not being able to really talk about strategy much. But getting a scepter from the Twilight Lich allowed us to go into the swamp without getting hungry, and then we could fight the Minishroom. Its force field was down on the Minishroom labyrinths. Again, we can see through walls. We're invincible, so it just wasn't really that hard. I did use my scanner to scan for chests to look for where I thought the room would be. I looked up a picture of the Minishroom room and saw that it had single chests in like a square. So I just basically looked for that, vein mined my way to it, had to find a way to get down a level, but eventually it was no big deal, and I actually killed him without ever getting to him by shooting him through a wall with a laser gun, and his stuff teleported into my ME system from Global Traveler on my Osglow Glass laser gun. So we didn't even have to get to him to kill him and get his trophy and stuff. So he also dropped the Meef Stroganoff, so that allowed us to eat the Meef Stroganoff, which now opens up attacking the Hydra. And I am spending a decent amount of time on this, so I'm not able to, I don't have a huge amount of bandwidth for uploading videos, so I'm trying to keep these pretty concise to progression through the pack. Sort of the focus of this series is just how to progress through and where the choke points are, where the technology roadblocks are. But I thought I would go ahead and at least show a little bit of this because these do satisfy a couple of roadblocks. There's the roadblocks to Wyvern Armor for getting the Arctic and Yeti armor, but then also I believe you need all of the trophies to do something later in the pack that is required. But you can see here the Ring of the Flying Squid and the Hang Glider do a heck of a job of getting us around the swamp. You are going to need extra angel rings, it looks like. Here are the hills that lead down to the Minishroom lair. So what we're looking for now, let's go ahead and open up our JE map here. Now we're looking for sort of fire swamp to fight the Hydra. So that looks like it's north of us. Now that we've had the Meef Stroganoff, we should be able to fly over there and find the Hydra and kill it. So there we go. I see some lava. So that big hill right ahead of us is probably where the Hydra is. It's probably on the other side of it. I've never done this fight. Oh, something's shooting at us. What's shooting at us? Fire jet. Neat. I'm going to try and silk touch that just for kicks and giggles. So yeah, I believe the Hydra's probably on the other side of this hill. And yeah, there you be. So again, not expecting really any problems here. Basically, we want to shoot open mouths as far as I know. That guy is wrecking that forest squirrel. Looks like you're also able to knock back its fireballs into its face to do a little extra damage. We got one head down. So yeah, basically it's going to grow a couple more heads now, which as far as I'm concerned is fine because it just means we got more targets to shoot. Whoops. Yeah, looks like it's about 3/4 of the way done. Just another head down. Follow the hole again. Yeah, looks like we got it. So pretty easy peasy, not a concern. Looks like this one, my Global Traveler, didn't work because the loot dropped from a different piece of the body than the head that I was shooting. So basically it acts like a multi-block structure. But we got what we needed to get here, I think. So let's see, Fiery Blood. I don't know what most of this stuff is. Pinch Beetle. I don't know what Twilight Shaders are. But, okay, cool. I'm going to pause here and track down the next boss, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I could not for the life of me find the, back where that green dot is, I could not for the life of me find the entrance to that one, which started to make me worried that it had been corrupted or, written over, especially since we found stuff stuck up in the trees. So I definitely thought we should be able to see some clue based on scanning for stairs. And if we look over here, this is the kind of thing I was looking for there. It's a circle, or a square. So that guy right there, sort of a square kind of structure. You can see a lot of this other stuff. There's plenty of stairs down there. But that's the kind of one I was sort of looking for when I had the idea of scanning for stairs. So again, there you can sort of see it. It's up near the top of the dungeon. Looks like roughly a 5x5 area of stairs with two big rectangles above it. So then I dug down through the trees when I saw that, and here's what we see. So this is what the entrance looks like. We got a set of stairs going down. So these were the two big rectangles on either side. And then down in here, this was the sort of a 5x5 circle with one corner being different. So again, just to drive this point home. There's so much noise in the background, it's hard to see. But here you can see that sort of 5x5 with one corner missing, which turns out to be the corner with the pedestal on it. So this is what I'm doing for. So I definitely think scanning for stone bricks is the way to go. It just may take a little fussing around. And if you don't find one on one dungeon, then go ahead and move on to the next without wasting a lot of time like I just did. So now I think we need to put our Hydra trophy on there. And if we place that there, hey, that opened that. So now we got that back. Let's see if we can take this back off. It's funny, it makes the Naga sound when you whack on it. I guess maybe we can leave that there for now. Let's go down in here and see what we're up against. Alright, so I'm not sure what this guy's deal is. He doesn't seem to want to die. So maybe we just ignore him. Yeah, okay, I'm not sure what the deal is with those block and chain guys. Basically what we're looking for at this point is Phantom Knights bosses. So I'm not sure what those look like. I think I know what the rooms look like. I think they look like sort of a room with a bunch of coffins in them, maybe. It's a big old lava pit. Nice. This would actually be a lot of fun if I were, you know, lower level and not very overpowered. I have to figure out the trick to killing those guys, though, because they're annoying. Yeah, this looks promising. Helmet crabs. That's pretty funny. So probably at this stage we could start, presumably there's going to be some... Do I care about any of this stuff? Not super much, no. Probably at this point we could go back to scanning for chests, and that would probably help us find the boss room. So I'm going to go ahead and throw all this junk into my ender pouch. And we'll go ahead and probably should have set up a waypoint up above on the surface where that portal was, or where that pedestal was, but should be able to find it again. What was I going to do? Oh, I was going to set this back to, from stone brick stairs to chests. And now if I scan for chests, Not seeing a lot. Some over that direction, maybe. Guess we'll head that way. Something just stairs here, maybe? Yeah. Guess we'll see what's up there. Blue wool. I think when we get to the end of this, we have to turn in like one of each of the 16 colors of wool to the questing ram, maybe. So I have been shooting the occasional brightly colored ram or mountain goat or mountain sheep or whatever they are up above. As I travel through the world. Let's go ahead and scan for chests again. There's a couple together over there. Can we break this stuff? Yeah, that'll make things easier. I did hurt this guy. I'm not exactly sure how. Maybe it's from behind. Okay, whatever. Oh, well, I apparently got him in the foot with a pickaxe. Cool, cool. Let's see, what was I doing? Yeah, oops. Let's go ahead and scan for chests again. There's a couple up there. Some over here. Sometimes in addition to going for chests, you can just follow where the red dots are and hope that where the monsters are will lead you to where you need to be. And there seems to be a bunch of monsters off this direction. This is turning into quite the journey. Alright, well, the pickaxe wrecks those guys. So we figured that out. Aha! This looks like it might be where we need to go. Alright, so a pickaxe seems to wreck those ball and chain guys. So that's good news. And this... can always use some free obsidian. Oh, that's a lot of free obsidian. Nice. I think this is where we're headed. So, yeah, these are the guys we want. Well, the laser gun wrecks them. So that's good to know. So again, I sort of like to just for future reference know what I'm up against, and I'm thinking stone slabs. If I needed to find one of these again in the future, if I open this up, pull out stone brick, oops, and put my scanner set to stone slabs. So get chest out of there, stone slab up there. Oh yeah, look at that. This is the only place we're seeing stone slabs in the neighborhood, and it's a very distinctive pattern. So we probably could have figured it out from the chest now that I'm looking, or from the stairs now that I'm looking at it. Now that you got this little rectangles of stairs, but the stone slabs would definitely get you here. So I would say stairs to find the entrance and look for that 5x5 with a missing corner. And then once you get down in here, switch to stone slabs for your scanner to look for this boss room. Alrighty, so let's clean out our inventory and then grab that stuff. Let's get all that out of here. So there's our trophies, shaders, whatever those are. Do we need any of this stuff? I guess I'll take one each of... I don't know what I'm going to need and not need, so I'll just grab it. That's why we have an ME system, so that we don't have to worry about it. So we got some sort of advancement there. That's probably a good thing. Let's go ahead and throw this stuff in there. Do I still have my Rod of Elevation on me? That's sort of a handy little gizmo that I keep forgetting I have and keep forgetting to use. In fact, I may have just taken it out because I never used it because I always forgot it was in there. And now that I remember, yeah, it's not in here. One of the cyclic tools, I think, was a Rod of Elevation, and it just basically takes you up to ground level. I used it once to get up out of a dungeon. This guy. Teleport yourself up to the nearest surface above. Oh, here it is. Let's try this and see what it works. I think I tried it once and it was sort of cool. I sort of want to try it again. Hey, boom. That is actually fairly cool. So yeah, I like that. Throw that back up there. Let's get airborne. Take our unbreakable axe. Gotta love some block reach. Get up out of here. See if I can find where our entrance is, because I think we can take that pedestal now. Yeah, there we go. It's the hole I cut in the trees to get down to what was the entrance to that dungeon. I think Goblin Stronghold is the name of that dungeon. Yeah, here we go. Oops. Get our Naga trophy back because we're going to need that later. And I think we can, yeah, now we can pick up the trophy pedestal as well. Oops. Probably want to use a pickaxe. And just to be safe, I'm going to use a Silk Touch pickaxe. Don't think we needed to, but better safe than sorry. Alright, so I'm going to pause here and check our runtime. This is taking way longer than I thought, mostly just because I don't know what I'm doing. At our offense and defensive levels that we're currently at, it's not a big problem. It's just finding stuff and knowing what to do. But anyway, I'm going to pause here, check out what our runtime is looking like, and then see what the next step in the progression is, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we are back, and now it looks like we need to climb to the top of the Urgast Tower and kill it as our next challenge here. So we're going to head and use the Ring of the Flying Squid and the Hang Glider to get up there. So when the squid runs out, we will just sort of coast around a bit while the squid ring recharges, and then continue to go up. So it may take us a bit to get up there, but better than trying to climb it manually. Oh, and there's the guy. Pardon me, I have to cough. So there's a... Whoa! Can't use my laser gun and my glider at the same time. Probably should have pulled one of our jetpacks out for this. I think that might have been a better route to go, but get over here and pause for a moment and let our ring recharge and take out some of these dudes. I think we need to get up there, so let's head back on up. We'll have to take these in steps because of the let our squid ring recharge. Almost at the top. Alright. Sort of just whoop that. So Global Traveler may have sent things to our ME system. However, we do also have a chest here. Yeah, and here's the this is the trophy. So there we go. I got to figure out. I haven't made a Traveler's Logbook, so there's probably a hotkey for it. I should probably figure that out at some point. I've just been sort of cased tower wood. I'm sort of curious what some of these materials are and what they might look like and if they're usable. Go ahead and try and collect some of this maybe. Doesn't look like the stuff with the red targets on them is harvestable. Did unlock a chapter by pulling those guys in. Yeah, these apparently are not harvestable. The ones with the red dots, the vanishing blocks. What's this? A gas trap. I'm going to go ahead and silk touch this bad boy, just in case it's something I need later. Probably not, but better safe than sorry. Whoa. There's a hole there. I missed my angel ring. So looks like that was holding them there, so that's sort of cool. There's probably some sort of mechanic that you would use in an actual real boss fight if you weren't like stupid overpowered like we are. Some more stuff. Interesting. It would be sort of fun to borer essence. I don't know what that is. I'm just basically picking some stuff up in case I need it. Sticky pistons. I'm sure this is all part of a fight when you come here and you're not stupid overpowered like we are. Alright, well, bottom line is, I think we did it, so I'm going to double check what we need to do next. Maybe try and harvest some of this material just in case I feel like building with it or need to use it for something in the future. And then we'll see what the next step in the progression is. Again, all of this is basically for, I think we need the boss trophies for something that we need to build. One of the things we need to build, and then also we need to open up the area that has the tundra stuff, the like Yeti fur, so we can make armor, so we can make our Wyvern Armor. Alright, so I'm going to pause here, find out what our next step is, and then I'll be back when I'm ready for that boss fight. Alright, now we're in a snowy forest, and looks like this is probably a place where we're going to find a Yeti boss, I would guess. Basically, it's just a big hill, and as I was flying past it, I noticed that it had some openings to it. So we do need a bunch of Arctic fur from these guys. Okay, so that says Naga spawner on it, but I have a feeling that spawns the Alpha Yeti. So I'm not familiar with this fight, so I'm just going to go ahead and kill all these guys in case they get in the way when we're fighting. And I guess we'll just see what happens. Alrighty, well, that was simple enough. Have I mentioned that I like my laser gun? Alright, so Alpha Yeti done. Let's go ahead and hop back to home world, or home base, and see how much Alpha Yeti fur we got. I have a feeling we might have to kill multiples there. So, Global Traveler on my laser gun sent things back to here. So if we go fur, we've got 118 Arctic fur. So that should probably be plenty to make our suit of Arctic fur that we need for our Wyvern armor. Good, good. Simple enough. So now all we got to do is make the rest of it. So we got one of them. So yeah, we're going to need to get the full 24. If they always drop 8, that means killing 3 of them. But as we just saw, oops, I don't have my angel ring on. So let's go ahead and throw that up there. Boom. And for now, we'll throw this up there as well. And this up there. And I'm going to go try and find and kill a couple more Alpha Yetis. See if we can finish this armor off, and I'll be right back. Okay, I went and whacked a couple more Alpha Yetis, or 3 more I think to be exact. So we should now have enough to finish our armor. So we got some boots. And some leggings. And the chest. And leftovers. So yeah, I think we're good to go there. And is that it? I think we might have everything we need. So there's our armor sets. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 armor sets and 16. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then each of the 4 pieces takes 4 charged draconium. We got those. We need Wyvern energy cores and Wyvern cores, so we're going to need 4 each of those. I think I have 4 Wyvern cores. Yes. Go ahead and throw those in there to reserve those. So now all we need is the Wyvern energy cores. How hard are those to make? That's just pumping some redstone into some draconic cores. Do I have any draconic cores left? No. Can I craft, say, 12? Yes. Let's get those cooking. And let's see, I'm going to pause and let those cook, and I'll be right back, and we'll make our Wyvern armor. And then we'll, if we have time, we'll go back and finish the Twilight Forest progression. And to make sure that we have all of the... If we take a look at the... get out of here. If we take a look at the uses for the Ergast trophy, there is this Twilight Forest Master Trophy, which uses the questing ram. So we should have the Naga, the Twilight, the Hydra, the Ergast, the Minishroom. So we still need a Snow Queen trophy and a questing ram trophy. The Snow Queen is at the center of the forest. I just killed all those guys in, and then we have to go find a questing ram. And if we look at the uses for these, there are 2 uses. We need them to make the creative vending upgrades, so that's important. And then we need them to make the creative gas tank. Do we? Where is it? Let's see it. So here's the Twilight Forest Master Trophy. What's that? Alright, so I'm not seeing anything else there. So I guess maybe we just need the one that you would get, and we need that for the creative vending upgrades, which is absolutely crucial. It's not only a quest requirement, but it is super, super cool. So we will need to finish that progression, and I'll be back in a moment. Let's see, how are we doing on the Draconics? Almost got those done, so we need 4 of those. So I'm going to take a pause, go get a drink, and see what our runtime is at currently. And then we'll either make our Wyvern armor or go try and finish the progression, or both if we have time. Okay, it looks like we got a little bit more time, so I'm going to go ahead and run over to... I do have a fluid transposer that is dedicated to destabilized redstone being fed by a magma crucible to melt the redstone. So we're going to come over here, and we're going to take one of these bad boys and turn it into a Wyvern Energy Core, I believe. Alright, we're going to go ahead and make 3 more of those while we're here. Let's see, that would have gone into my ME system. Wyvern Energy Core. And let's go ahead and make ourselves some Wyvern Armor. So I went ahead and grabbed my, one of the reasons I did this in shulker boxes was that I could just pick them all up. So we've got our thing over here. We're going to go ahead. We're just making 1 of this recipe. So we're just going to go ahead and start spreading things out. So we want 4 of those, and we want, let me just double check, make sure I'm remembering this right. Yeah, Wyvern Core and then all the helmets. Okay, so Wyvern Core and a whole bunch of helmets. And now my subconscious is singing a whole lot of Rosie by AC/DC. And now it's singing a whole lot of Love by Led Zeppelin. You're probably sensing a theme about my musical taste there. I'm old, so that old rock and roll is the music of my youth. And we're coming near the end of our whole lot of helmets. Almost there. Bada bing. Throw one of these in the middle. We got the particle effects, so we're good to go. And it's taking a moment. How much power does this thing take? 1 billion FE with a max rate of 1 million per tick. So that's why it's taking a bit. So it's going to be, what is that? 1,000 ticks? My brain is better at remembering old rock and roll songs than it is at doing math. So let's see. We're just going to let that go for a bit. Then if we still have time, I'll probably go ahead and finish these out off camera, finish the other pieces of our Wyvern Armor off camera, and then maybe we'll go back and get the Ice Princess and call it an episode if we still have a good 5 or 10 minutes left. And then we'll save the questing ram for another day. We'll do the questing ram when we go to make our creative vending upgrades. This does take a bit of time, don't it? Yeah, about 1,000 ticks, I think. 20 seconds, 20 ticks per second. But there we go. Dun, da, da, da. We have a Wyvern helm. And here we can sort of see I've moused over it. And you can see it's charging. That is due to... It's not charging very fast, though. So I'm not 100% sure how useful this personal interface thing is going to be. But that is charging due to the player interface from Actual Editions that has a flux point on it. Doesn't charge super fast, though, so I'm not sure how. I don't think it's going to be a huge help to us during the Chaos Dragon fight. But hey, every little edge we can get. And I did need some wireless power when I start using this to top things off. Alright, we have a piece of Wyvern Armor. Hooray us. I'm going to go ahead and make the rest of these, check our runtime, and then if we have time, we'll go hit the Snow Princess in Twilight Forest. Be right back. All right, we are back, and we have Wyvern Armor. Wyvern, I keep saying. So, I'm an old dude, and I've been familiar with the word Wyvern forever, from back in the 70s, and I've never heard it said out loud, so in my head I've always just said Wyvern, because that kid me, just, that's the pronunciation that I picked out. And then when I started watching stuff here and hearing people talking about Wyvern Armor, and they called it Wyvern Armor with the I sound, I thought, is that how you pronounce that? And so I looked it up, and sure enough, that's how you pronounce it. So I've been in my head saying Wyvern forever, and now I'm trying to get used to calling it Wyvern. But anyway, there we go. We have it. And we can open up our quest book here. We should have some stuff done for Draconic. Yeah, there we go. Let's go ahead and hit claim all. And see if we got anything interesting. Fluxed Electrum, yada yada. Congealed something or other. More gun turrets. Dragon fruit. Alright, so nothing here interesting. But that is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and take this all off and throw it into here. I've renamed this spot Draconic Armor. And we have our first armor set for that. I think we're going to hold off on more Twilight Forest stuff. We are going to have to go back and get the Snow Princess, or whatever her name is, trophy, and then the Questing Ram trophy for doing our creative vending. But we don't need to do that right now, so I'm going to try and stay focused on getting our Draconic Armor up and going. So let's take a look at that. We can now remove the Wyvern stuff from there. And we can start pulling up. Let's see, we need a Draconic Helm. We need a Draconic Helm. And Draconic Chestplate. And Draconic Leggings. And Draconic Boots. I'm also going to want to make the Draconic Bow, I think. It looks like a good time, which means we'll probably have to make the Wyvern Bow. One would assume. Dang it, I always do that. Add an A to my search term instead of a... Okay, so there we go. Yeah, so we're going to need to make a Supremium Bow. That's easy enough. Mystical String, yeah, that's easy. Easy. Alright, so then we'll make the Wyvern Bow. That is easy. No problem there. Then we'll turn that into a Draconic Bow. That is stuff we can do. Haven't made any Awakened Cores yet, but we can now. So yeah, we're good to go. So that's going to be pretty straightforward. Let's take a look at what armor sets we're going to need here for the Draconic. So Mantle of Stars, it looks like we can use a number of, I don't know if it's all. Oh yeah, it looks like we don't even need to infuse it. So that's simple enough to make. We're just going to use this one. That's all stuff we have, so that's not a problem. An Angel Ring, we can make those. A lot of Awakened. We have our Resonant Cell Frames. We have our Ultimate Ingots. Crystal Matrix is just lots of diamonds and a few nether stars. That's no biggie. Alright, so yeah, our Wyvern Armor, some Mantle of the Stars. What do we need on other stuff? Let's see. We need a Mantle of Stars for the boots, I guess, and for everything else as well. So we just got to make 4 Mantles of Stars. Alright, that seems odd, but we could do that. So yeah, not a problem. How are we doing on oops? How are we doing on angel wing stuff? Ender stars are a piece of cake. Ethereal glass, blah blah blah. All of that's easy. I think we can even make elytras. So yeah, I think we're good to go. We got all the stuff we need for all that. Ender stars. The only thing I'm sort of worried about. How much dragon's breath do I have? I didn't know I was going to need a bunch of it, so 10. So we got plenty to make 4 more angel rings. So we are good to go for making draconic. I think I may need some more awakened to make all the awakened cores and whatnot. I've got 44 ingots and 4 blocks. That's probably enough. So yeah, well, I'm probably going to go ahead and gather up all the stuff for that. And I'll probably just make the draconic bow. It doesn't seem like it's too interesting. It's all crafting table stuff. But then next episode we'll look at upgrading. I know there's the draconic bow. I've never had one before, but I've heard that it has all sorts of upgrades that you can put into it to make it super powerful. So we'll take a look at that, and I'll make most of the draconic armor, but I'll save a piece, and we'll start out with making our last piece of draconic armor and playing with the draconic bow. And then I also need to, I should have enough. Let's see, I'm up to 3 singularities, and let's see how close we are to a 4th singularity. $58,440. Is it not going up? Why you no go up? Has something gone tragically wrong here? Oh, there it is. It's probably just a reporting glitch. So it looks like we're about, a good share of the way towards another. The reason we care about that is for our creative tank, we're going to need anglicite, and for that we need quantum singularities. So you get 2 of these from each singularity. So basically these are formed in pairs. So you throw down one of the singularities that we have up here with a little tiny TNT and some dust, and then one of these becomes 2 of the quantum entangled ones. So ideally we're going to need a lot of anglicite. So we're going to need like I sort of wanted to make like 36, but that's going to require 18 singularities, and I want to use so 18 of them. So we still got a long way to go. So probably what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave my computer running and Minecraft on overnight, so we keep making singularities. That may feel like cheating for some, but hey, whatever. I'm just going to stand in my tower and let those singularities cook overnight for probably the next 2 nights, and so we can get those done and make a whole bunch of anglicite to finish our creative fluid tank, because we're going to need 4 for that, and our infinity booster card so that we can use our wireless crafting terminal everywhere, and etc. etc. So that's going to be going on in the background while I make the draconic bow and some draconic armor. Alright, that's probably enough for this time. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, tips, please let me know. Leave comments. Let me know that you're enjoying this if you are enjoying this. We are sort of racing towards an end point here, so in the next couple weeks I'll be looking for a new mod pack to start. I'm thinking maybe Enigmatica 2 Expert, since I love that. Skyblock this time, so let me know. But I could be convinced to maybe do something else if people are really interested in other things. I've heard good things about SevTech, and working through the ages sounds like something I might be interested in. I've heard bad things about RL craft and that it's completely annoying and frustrating, which might be right up my alley because I'm sort of a masochist. Um, so that's a possibility. Project Omega 3 Kappa edition, if that's out. I think it's still on Titan. But if Kappa comes out of beta, I might try that, even though I watched a little of Hypnotize's playthrough that he's currently running, and some of those mod packs seem a bit annoying to me. Not up my alley. Too much weird magic systems like Lordcraft and Voidcraft, and some of those just seem annoying. But I could be convinced to give that a try. Anyway, I'll stop babbling. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.